Yeah, what's going on? Quick video on the pump. Again, I got comments, people saying, actually I think it was one guy. Yeah, one guy. Was probably new to the channel, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about the pump. Just focus on progressive overload, and you good, right?" And I already made a video about that. You know, it's called progressive overload versus the pump. Which one is the most important? And I concluded that you need both. Do not say. Don't tell anyone that they only need to worry about getting stronger if their goal is pure muscle growth, right? If your goal is strength, obviously, of course, you just want to focus on getting stronger. It's common fucking sense. If your goal is muscle growth, optimal muscle growth, you don't just want to focus on getting stronger. And I made another video about that called bigger does not mean stronger, whatever. No, stronger does not mean bigger. And if you look at that video, I explain how you can get stronger without getting bigger. You can really get progress on the movement without seeing any noticeable size and strength. And I give many examples and many data, you know, like a lot of fucking data to back that up. And I explain the reason why that is, you know, how strength is mainly, yes, it has to do with your muscle, but it's also how you recruit the muscle you already have. And so you can have a guy who's really skinny but benches more than a guy who's like been training for a long time, has a big chest, but benches like half the weight, you know, just a random example. And it's also, the reason why I said the pump is important is not just because of, I'm just gonna break it up into three important things, right? There's many reasons why the pump is important, but three basic. Number one, lactic acid, right? It's very hard to get, if you're just focusing on getting stronger, you're not getting that lactic acid, that burn, that pump, that feeling that you're using the muscle. One of the problems is this. Number one, you wanna recruit fast twitch muscle fibers when you're growing, right? When you're working out. And one of the signs that you recruited fast twitch muscles is not just about lifting heavy weights. One of the signs is lactic acid, and that's because fast twitch muscles are mainly anaerobic, right? They can work with just glycogen, and they don't. They're not like your slow twitch muscles. You know, they could work even on a low supply of oxygen. And the byproduct of activating fast twitch muscles is lactic acid. That's why a lot of people that do explosive sports that require fast twitch movements always complain about the burn, the lactic acid burn. You got sprinters that are always saying that before they get to the finish line, they have this crazy lactic acid buildup in their body. And that's because all they're using is their fast twitch muscles, anaerobic respiration, you know, biochem shit. Fucking same thing, gymnasts, when they're doing like headstands for a while, or they're doing any kind of explosive movements, they get a lot of lactic acid in their arms and their shoulders, and it's their most developed body parts, you know, the most muscular body parts. So there's a very strong, you know, correlation between lactic acid and fast twitch muscles, right? That's what they call fast twitch glycolytic muscles, you know, they're glycolytic, and then the byproduct of the activation is that burn. That's why if you just walk for like fucking 3 hours, you're never gonna get lactic acid in your fucking legs. You're not using fast twitch muscles. But anyway, so that's number one. It lets you know that you're using fast twitch muscles. So you gotta get that lactic acid. At least it gives you like a sign, like, okay, I know I'm doing something right? With heavy weight, obviously. Number two is you want to send blood into the muscle, right? Getting the pump is a sign that you're getting a lot of blood flow into the muscle. That's what the pump is. It's blood flow. Why do you need blood to the muscle? That's the dumbest question. I mean, that's where the nutrients are. That's where the oxygen is. That's where the protein, everything, you know, is in the blood. So the blood is shoving all these nutrients into the muscle, right? And I'm never gonna go through the whole fascia stretching thing because, you know, I didn't really look at a lot of studies about that. I don't know if it's made for fact, but you know, it does play a role. And number three is it lets you know that you're recruiting the fucking muscle. Getting in the pump, number one, it feels good as fuck, right? That's another thing, but it lets you know that you're targeting the muscle right. Why do you think, I don't know about you guys, but me and my friends, when we work out, the muscles that we find hardest to grow are the muscles that we never get pumps in when we train them. And the muscles that grow the fastest on us are the muscles that contract amazingly and give us an amazing pump by set 1 or 2, right? And a lot of my friends, all the muscles that have a hard time growing, they can barely get it pumping when they're training. Try to test with yourself, right? Look at your body and see the correlation between your most developed muscles and the pump you get when you train them. And then look at your underdeveloped muscles and let me know if you get that same kind of pump. It's completely different. So I'm not saying, you know, the pump means the muscle's gonna grow, whatever. But this is very, very strong correlation. Marco, for instance, he's been benching for years. He loves benching. He benches up to 4 plates and shit like that. But his chest is not fucking huge, right? And he never knew why. And I looked at him, I said, well, do you get a pump when you train your chest? He goes, well, I don't know. So we started doing, well, he thought he was getting a pump too. We started doing the time on attention, you know, 40-second minimum time on attention. That gives you this crazy lactic acid buildup, this crazy pump. And guess what he felt the pump in when he was benching, when we started doing the time on attention? Because most people only do like 15-second time on attention. They don't even know it. And he was like, man, my front delts are fucking burning. And I'm like, bingo, there it goes. You're not activating most of your chest when you're benching. you activating most of your front delts. And we looked at his form. I was exactly right. He benches with his front delts instead of having his chest open. So it's not until he did that pump training, right, that he saw where his mistake was. Like, oh wow, I'm using too much front delts. And when he stood up, we looked at him from the side. His front delts are overdeveloped from all those years of benching. Meaning all that time, if he would have only tried to train for the pump a few days, he would have saw that his front delts are getting pumped and not his chest, which is a sign that he was not recruiting the muscle that he wanted to recruit the most. You know, because obviously front delts gonna hit your benching is gonna hit your front delts and triceps, but you doing it for your chest, not for your fucking front delts. So the third reason is like the most important one. Getting a pump lets you know, hey man, I'm recruiting that muscle the right way, right? If you're doing pull downs and you're not feeling your lats, you're getting a pump in your biceps, what is that telling you? You're activating mostly your biceps than you are your lats, you know? So it's a great way to also discover what exercise works for you. Pick a movement, try to get a pump in it. So don't say the pump is useless, guys. Yes, you want to progress. Yes, you want to get stronger at a rep range, but you want to go for that lactic acid buildup, that cell swelling, right? It's a very, very high correlation with the cell expanding, the muscle cell expanding and growth. All right, guys. Hope that helps. Done this with the rest of the Hey guys, going on really quick video. Top 3 protein sources for bodybuilders. Now, me and Hansa did this extensive study where we spent like 2 weeks literally looking at all the fucking nutrients, minerals, and whatever that a bodybuilder needs to optimize his muscle gains, right? I mean, we looked at everything, things that affect your hormone